Welcome, everyone. Today we're doing a deep dive into Call of Duty.
Oh.
But not the usual stuff like kill streaks or the new maps.
Right.
We're going deeper into some stuff that's been discovered that, honestly, kind of unsettling, even for someone like me who follows all this stuff pretty closely.
Yeah. It's a game that's been around forever, right?
Right. Huge franchise.
But it seems like there's this whole other side that most players aren't even aware of.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to get into today, like some of the accusations of some pretty invasive tech going on, some patents that Activision has filed that raise some eyebrows, even people comparing it to some kind of like Matrix simulator.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
It does. So we're going to take a deep dive into all that today.
Yeah, and we're not just talking about like some random forum post or something, This is
the real deal.
Yeah, this is based on some pretty deep findings from a tech expert, actually. This guy named Branchoff Bush. He's been digging around, and, Prime Pete did a whole video on YouTube breaking down his work.
So to understand all this, we got to understand what DLL files are.
Right.
Like they're basically like shortcuts, right?
Yeah.
They allow programs to use code that's already out there instead of like writing it from scratch every time.
Exactly.
It's like grabbing a wrench from your toolbox instead of like
building a wrench.
Yeah, instead of building one yourself.
Exactly.
So like using DLLs is super common.
Oh yeah, most software uses them.
So the big question here is, why would Call of Duty need a DLL to access your camera?
Yeah, that's the weird part.
It's pretty sus, right? And this is where Branchoff Bush's investigation gets really interesting, right? So you use this special software to see which DLL files different Call of Duty games were using.
Okay.
Older titles, pretty clean.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3, different story.
Yeah, totally different.
He found this DLL called nvcamera64.dll.
Okay.
And it was getting triggered, like, as soon as you start the game.
And that's what's concerning, right? That specific DLL is only for camera access. It's getting triggered even if you don't even have a webcam plugged in.
Whoa. So you're saying, like, even if my webcam's physically off the game, might still be trying to access it?
That's what it looks like.
Dude, that's kind of creepy.
It definitely raises questions about privacy, for sure.
Like, do you really want a game potentially, like, recording you?
Or your surroundings.
Yeah, without your consent.
Yeah, and you don't even know it's happening.
Okay, so now I'm starting to see why people are freaking out. But
yeah.
Is it possible that it's just like some sort of technical glitch, like maybe some leftover code from development or something?
It's a good question, and I think to understand that we need to look at some of the patents that Activision has filed.
Right.
One of them describes using 2D images to create real-time 3D models that reflect the user's expressions.
Wait, are you saying they could be building like a 3D model of my face? Like in real time?
Potentially, yeah.
Just from my webcam?
It's possible, especially with this DLL thing.
That's wild.
And that's not the only patent that's kind of strange. There's another one that describes what they call a microtransaction driver system.
Okay.
And it's designed to, like, analyze your emotions.
Through, like...
cameras, voice chat, even your gameplay.
Whoa.
All to figure out how to make you spend more money in the game.
So they're not just potentially watching you. They're analyzing your every move to figure out how to get you to spend more.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Like, how does that even work?
Well, imagine a game that knows you're frustrated. So it offers you like a special deal on a weapon or a character skin right when you're most likely to buy it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it like subtly makes the game harder so you keep playing, to get those rewards.
Dude, that's not just creepy. That's like straight up manipulative.
Yeah. It's definitely a gray area ethically, using these systems to influence players like that.
Speaking of technology, what about that botnet patent we mentioned earlier?
Oh, yeah. Activision's figured out how to use the processing power of multiple devices that are all networked together to run these complex simulations.
So like they're turning players' computers into a giant computer.
Pretty much, and they're doing it without telling you.
So they're using our computers, our electricity, to run their own stuff in the background, like even when we're not playing the game.
Potentially, yeah.
What are they even using all that processing power for?
That's the big question, and here's where it all comes together, right? They might be using it to train the AI opponents in Modern Warfare 3. We know they're gathering data from gameplay, and they might even be capturing what's on your screen.
Hold up.
All of that could be fed into their AI systems.
So you're saying they're building these hyper-realistic opponents based on how we play,
Yeah.
and they're using our own computers to do it.
Possible.
This is starting to feel like the Matrix, man.
Right. It makes you think, are we really in control of our gaming experience anymore, or is the game with all its algorithms and data collection starting to control us?
That is a lot to think about. We need to take a step back and look at some counterpoints here.
Yeah, for sure.
Branchoff Bush also ran tests on a game called X-Defiant.
Okay.
using the same DLL monitoring software, and guess what?
What?
Nothing.
Really?
Zero outputs. No suspicious DLL activity at all,
Interesting.
which suggests that XDefiant might be doing things very differently.
Huh.
Like maybe they don't need all this data collection.
Okay.
So if XDefiant can make a great game without all this access and data collection, why does Call of Duty need it?
Yeah, is it actually necessary or is it something else?
That's the question we need to explore. And to do that, we need to go deeper into these patents and what Activision is doing with our data and what it all means for the future of gaming.
Absolutely. It makes you think about, the choices we make as gamers.
Right.
Are we so focused on having like this super realistic, personalized experience that we're like, okay with all this, potential privacy stuff?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Nobody's forcing us to play these games. We choose to spend our time and money on them.
Right.
But are we making those choices with all the information?
That's the question.
Like, do we even really understand what we're agreeing to when we click accept on those terms of service things?
I mean, nobody reads those.
Right.
That's why it's important to talk about this stuff, to like shed some light on these issues and get people thinking critically.
For sure. It's not about like demonizing any one company or game.
Right.
It's about understanding what these technologies can do and then like making informed decisions. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Like the more we understand about how these games work, how our data is being collected and used, the better we can protect ourselves.
And push for change.
And it goes beyond just protecting ourselves, right? It's
Yeah.
like setting a precedent for the whole gaming industry. If we as players just accept these practices without question, what message does that send to other developers?
Yeah, it's like we're saying, go ahead, exploit our data, our hardware, our privacy, as long as you give us a cool game.
And that is a slippery slope.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's not just about data privacy either. It's about the potential for manipulation. If a game can analyze your emotions, predict your behavior,
Yeah.
and tailor the experience to keep you hooked.
They keep you playing.
Yeah, where does that end?
That's a good question. It's almost like we're in this like psychological arms race.
Kinda? Yeah.
Like game developers are getting better and better at understanding what makes us tick.
Yeah.
What triggers our reward centers.
What makes us spend money?
What keeps us coming back for more.
Right.
And that's where it gets really interesting because we've been focusing on like all the bad stuff.
Yeah,
But there is a flip side to all this.
there is.
Like what if these same technologies, these advancements in AI and data analysis could be used for good?
Now you're thinking.
What do you mean?
Well, imagine a game that actually, helps you get better.
Okay.
Not by manipulating you, but by giving you personalized feedback and challenges that are tailored to you.
So like having a personal coach for your gaming skills
Yeah, basically like someone who understands how you play.
and helps you improve.
Exactly.
Let's
Or think about the potential for truly immersive stories.
Okay.
Imagine a game that can understand how you're feeling and change the story as you play.
So like instead of just playing through the same story every time,
Yeah.
the game actually reacts to you.
Exactly. It creates a unique experience every time you play.
That would be amazing.
The possibilities are huge.
But the key is using these technologies responsibly and transparently.
Exactly.
So it's not about rejecting these advancements. It's about demanding more transparency, more control, and more ethical considerations from the companies developing them.
I think that's the perfect way to put it.
We need to have an open conversation about what kind of gaming future we want to create.
Absolutely.
Like a future where our data is respected, our privacy is protected.
And our experiences are truly our own.
And that starts with being informed, asking questions.
And making conscious choices about the games we play.
And the companies we support.
100%.
We've covered a lot today.
We have.
We talked about the potential dangers of all this data collection and manipulation.
Yeah.
But we've also seen how these same technologies could be used to create a better, more personalized gaming experience.
For sure.
Ultimately, the future of gaming is up to us.
All of us.
It's up to us as gamers to decide what kind of world we want to create.
That's a great way to put it.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? The next time you boot up a game, any game, take a second to think about what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Who's collecting your data? How are they using it? And what are you willing to accept?
Because gaming is about more than just entertainment.
It's about connection. It's about community.
It's about pushing the boundaries.
And we have a responsibility to make sure that those boundaries are pushed in the right direction.
100%. Stay informed, stay curious, and most importantly, keep gaming.